Okay, here is three problems with trigonometric equations, and we're going to use these right up here: sine, cosine, and tan. Sine is the opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is the adjacent over hypotenuse, and opposite over adjacent is tangent. Okay, and how I look at that is I say Oscar had a heap of apples, and this is Scott. Scott. That's how I remember it. Okay. All right. So looking at this problem here, the biggest thing on these is you have to use the information that's available. Okay. So when we look here, we need to find this here. So to do that, we will use, we have opposite and we have hypotenuse. So we have opposite over hypotenuse. We're going to use sine. So it kind of dictates what we're going to use. So we get sine of x equals 7 over 12 because it's opposite over hypotenuse. Okay. Now to find that, what we do is we go to our calculator here. I'm going to set this here so you can see it. So to do this, we got to go 7 divided by 12. Okay, so that gives us 0.83. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in my memory. Put that in memory plus and cancel. Okay, so now we're using sine. So to find the angle of sine, the first thing, big thing, is you got to make sure right here on mine is that you have it in degree mode. Okay, you got to have it in degree mode. This calculator is just, it's a free app. Let's see what it's called here. It's called Calculator HD Pro. I think the Pro might be a couple dollars, but you can get the free version and it has everything you need. Okay, so anyway, you're going to hit this right here. You can hit this, and then I'm going to plug in what I had up above. So I'm going to go memory recall, and then I'm going to hit enter. So there's what I get then. So for this, y would equal 35.69. That would be our answer for that one. So that's how you find an angle. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one here. And I think I've had some students going, I don't know if I'm supposed to add or divide or multiply. How do you know what you're supposed to do? Okay, so again, here we're going to use our same things. We're going to use this here. What information do we have? Okay, this is the degree. So what information we have dictates what trigonometric function we're going to use. So we have 45, and they give us the opposite, and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So with that, again, we got opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse works for sine, adjacent. I mean, if we were looking for this down here, we'd have opposite over adjacent. So that would be tangent. But in this case, we have opposite over hypotenuse. So again, what we're going to do here, and this dictates how you set this up. So we got sine of x. Actually, well, I'll just go ahead and write it. Sine of 45 equals opposite over hypotenuse, because that's what we have. So it's 4 over x. So now you just use algebra, okay? So in this case, let's find, again, I'm going to throw my calculator on here. Let's see, I want to memory clear this, and we want to find the sine. The sine of 45 is 0.71, okay? So 0.71. So we got 0.71 equals 4 over x. Now, how would you solve this algebraically? Well, I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to multiply by x, but I have to multiply this by x. Okay? So these x's cancel. I'm left with 0.71x equals 4. Okay? Now, I got to get x by itself, so you go to the side of the x, do the opposite of what it says. 0.71 times x, so you're going to divide by 0.71 because we're trying to get x by itself, but what you do to one side you have to do to the other. 0.71. Okay, so this cancels. So now I take my calculator and I go 4 divided by 0.71. That gives me 5.63. So the answer for x equals 5.63. Okay, so basically it changes whether or not I got to multiply here or divide by through here. It depends on what information they need here. So for this next one, again, we're going to use opposite over hypotenuse, but I'm just trying to show you that there's the different ways is when you multiply or you divide. Okay, so now we're going to use sine of 45 again. And I'd write this out every time just to give you a better idea how it works. Sine of 45 equals, we go opposite is x over 10. Okay, so now we knew what the sine of 45 was 0.71, so 0.71 equals x over 10. So now you just algebraically solve again. You go to the side of the x, you do the opposite of what it says, x times 10, so this, x divided by 10, so this is times 10. So you're going to take this times 10 also. Okay, so this cancels, and you're left with x equals 10 times 0.71 is 7.1. So this would be your answer.